What is going on, everybody? Welcome into the Wednesday morning edition of the PrizePicks Prop Show here at FTNFantasy.com. My name is Zach Graham, aka Kawaisenberg DFS, ready to jump into all of Wednesday's action. And we're going to get right into some of these Olympic basketball qualifiers because we've got some picks from the game that is tipping off in just around 13 minutes from now. So let's go ahead and get to some of those. We'll also talk some MLB plays, some WNBA plays also for this afternoon and this evening. But Poland and the Bahamas, again, tipping off 11:30 a.m. Eastern here. This game is going to move. 173.5 implied total. Bahamas actually favored by 1.5 on the Bahamas side. You're going to see guys like Buddy Hield. You're going to see guys like DeAndre Ayton, Eric Gordon on that Polish side. To your casual basketball fans, and by casual I mean when you stick within the bounds of the NBA, Mateusz Panitka, AJ Slaughter, some guys that we'll talk about here. So the first pick I mentioned, Slaughter. I like his over 10.5 points. I like his over 3.5 assists more. So AJ Slaughter more than 3.5 assists is that first pick here from the Olympic qualifying side of things. I believe this is now up. Let me see. Okay, so they pulled this down off of PrizePicks, and we've just got some Spain Angola props, so we will go through that at the end of the stream. Slaughter you can still get at 3.5 over on Underdog, so that's where I would take the Slaughter assists, and then on PrizePicks, I'm more than happy to get Slaughter more than 10.5 points in this one. Again, just a 1.5 point spread. This at 173.5 implied total is the highest implied total on this slate today. We've got games pretty much going from morning until night. So again, if you are a hoops sicko like myself, basketball does not stop. It's going to be a great day. Slaughter, again, averaging 14 points per game with the Polish national team. Again, that is a 47-game sample size. Now, Slaughter is getting up there in age, but again, at the FIBA level here, still very much in the mix. You should get double-digit shots out of him. He also averages 4.2 assists in his international career. Again, that's dating back to 2015. So even in Eurobasket in 2022, right, this is a guy who averaged over 13 points a game, 3.8 assists, and again, north of 4 in his career. So with this game projected to move, give me the Slaughter pick here. And then we're going to stick with his Polish teammate. And Michael Sokolowski, excuse me, over or more than 11.5 points is the pick here. Again, that just got bumped over on Underdog. That is now at 12. That is still good for me. Up to 13. So again, you look at PrizePicks, they've now got him at 13. So that's more of an Underdog specific play for me at the moment. But again, this is where I will plug FTN Fantasy. Okay. If you were a subscriber and you had access to the Pick'em Games channel, you got Sokolowski at 11.5 points. You got Slaughter at 3.5 points. You got somebody like Eric Gordon on the other side of this game at 14.5, where he is at 15.5 and looking like still climbing. Actually 15 on PrizePicks, so I don't hate the Eric Gordon more than 15 there. But again, last night we had that in the Discord at 14.5. We also got a game that has already started, that New Zealand and Croatia game. Shea Illy was at 5 assists. That was good for me, up to 6.5. So again, you can join us here at FTN Fantasy if you have not yet. It's about $40 to get access to everything for a month, but the best value, hands down, is the VIP Plus subscription. It's an annual subscription, $299.99 for the year, so about $25 per month over the full year, and it gets you access to everything under the FTN Fantasy umbrella, our season-long content, sports betting, daily fantasy, access to all 3 of our Discord servers, all of our projection models, advanced statistics, and more that we have here at FTN. So again, with this game tipping off sooner, or we're jumping to a later game here, Philippines and Latvia. I'm going to take a less than selection on Justin Brownlee. His prop is set at 18.5. And now this is a guy, again, we only have a 4-game sample of his international career, getting up there, kind of the dual national American and Philippines here, averaging 25 points per game for this Philippines squad. But you look at the competition that they were taking on there, Chinese Taipei, Hong Kong, I want to say Lebanon was in there as well. Latvia's a top 6 team in the world. The Philippines, decidedly not that. I want to say in the FIBA rankings, they're like 25th, maybe even lower. Regardless, this game should be a blowout. 21-point favorites are the Latvians. 164 implied total, again, 18.5, going up against a team, a front court like that. Roland Smits, a guy who has been in the EuroLeague for what feels like a decade now. I'm going to take a less than selection on Justin Brownlee. And then you've got the Greeks taking on the Dominican Republic later on this afternoon as well. We talked about Victor Liz in the Discord last night. I like this up to 9.5, but we've got Victor Liz at 8.5 points right now on PrizePicks, and I am a big fan of the over there. Like, not too dissimilar from AJ Slaughter in terms of like an aging player with his FIBA side, with his national team. 37 years old is Liz at this point. But again, this is a player, 60 games in terms of this sample size with his international play. His FIBA play, 11.7 points per game. And we've seen him already, right, in the Greece qualifier here this year. 12 points in just 17 minutes the other day. Averaged 13.5 in the America qualifiers this year. 2 years ago, right? FIBA World Cup, 9.6 points. Tougher competition there for sure, up and down the tournament, but 8.5 points, a little too low. Give me the more than selection on Victor Liz. Again, we'll come back. You know what? Actually, what we're going to do, because we just gave out 4 Olympic picks, Spain and Angola, those props just populated here on PrizePicks. We're going to discuss that in the Discord. We're going to keep that chat for the subscribers only, and we'll move into some MLB and WNBA picks here for later in the day. 4 years, $8 million for Bronny James. Not too bad for the 55th overall pick. Before we jump into the MLB props here today, because again, you see the MLB PrizePicks prop tool on the screen here at FTNFantasy. If you have not signed up yet at PrizePicks, I don't know what you're waiting for, but if you have not, you go over to PrizePicks, you use promo code FTN at sign up. That will get you a 100% deposit match bonus up to $100. And you can also download the Sleeper app. That same promo code gets you that same deposit match bonus. Promo code FTN at sign up with Sleeper. You get 100% deposit match bonus up to $100. And now at Underdog Fantasy, slightly different over there when you sign up. Still the same promo code. Code FTN is going to get you a 50% deposit match bonus, but that's up to $250 over at Underdog. And with that promo code, you will also get a special discounted pick to go along with your deposit match bonus. So again, promo code FTN, take advantage of all of these offers, build that bankroll up, and then, like I said, come join us here at FTN Fantasy, where if you take a look at the PrizePicks tool, again, this available here at FTN Fantasy, and you can certainly peruse these throughout the day, bring some selections into that Pick 'em Games channel of the Discord, and we're more than happy to discuss things there in the group. But we're going to start today with a little pairing here, A's and Angels. Nice little West Coast matchup here. Joey Estes on the mound for the A's, and the second strongest prop here in the tool is a less than selection on Joey Estes and his outs prop of 17.5. Now, I do think that the win percentage here, 81.1%, that's a little bit hot. I was actually told this morning that there's going to be a little bit of a recalc, I think, on how we do some of these outs props, but there's no doubt that this, again, with the projections, still a very strong selection here, less than 17.5 outs. Again, model has him for shy of 16. And we're going to, as we like to do, we're going to get a pairing here. So in the PrizePicks prop tool, you can filter it down just to A's and Angels. We can take a look at the Angels side of things here, and you can see Logan O'Hoppe right now, the strongest prop in the model here. His hits plus runs plus RBIs. Line set at 1.5. Model has him just a hair over 2. And so that will be our MLB pairing here this morning. So again, you've got about 3 minutes, maybe a little less. You could get this pairing in there with those 4 FIBA pairings that we talked about, the Olympic qualifiers. I guess I shouldn't say FIBA. It's not FIBA. It is Olympic qualifying. But you can pair those, or you can take those 4, pair them with Estes and O'Hoppe here, and get yourself a nice little 6-pick play. Let's talk the W, as we always do when I'm here on the stream, on the PrizePicks prop show. Just one game in the WNBA here tonight. Phoenix visiting Dallas. Mercury 5-point road favorites. Very high, 170.5 total here. And so the first place I'm going, again, Wings, you're going to get massive minutes out of somebody like Arike Ogunbowale, and we're going to take a more than selection on her line of 22.5 points, right? This is a player this season, 23.7 points per game. Again, coming back down to earth a little bit after she started the season so hot. She was right behind Asia Wilson there, right up in like the 26.5 range again. That was a little bit lofty in terms of expecting that to continue throughout the season, but we see her now down below her career averages in terms of her efficiency, just 36.7% from the field, 39.2 on her career. But the volume, again, 21.2 shot attempts per game. That is something we're looking at. 9.1 3-point attempts, shooting slightly above her career average there at 36%. And again, this one expected to remain competitive throughout. Arike Ogunbowale averaging 38.4 minutes per game. Again, for the uninitiated, WNBA games 40 minutes long. So a player who essentially does not come out with one of the highest totals we've seen this season, 170.5. And I believe if you navigate over to her points on various sports books, DK right now, you can see a little bit juiced towards the under, but that line is at 23.5 on DK and FanDuel. So again, Ogunbowale more than 22.5 points tonight. And then we've got a questionable tag on Brittany Griner here tonight. So personal issue is what that is listed as. So in the DFS streets, right, we'll be talking about players like Natasha Mack, maybe Sophie Cunningham, right? In the DFS streets, we've got the WNBA DFS channel here in the Discord. If Griner is out, we can discuss that there. Whether she's out or not, I like a less than selection on Kalea Copper and her fantasy score line of 32.5. I know we just took this at 28.5 last game, so you can see the stark difference. Obviously, some of that, the pace that is expected here tonight is being factored in. But again, these WNBA props can yo-yo wildly from game to game. And Copper, just shy of a fantasy point per minute player on the season. And she is playing low 30s in minutes, 32 minutes per game now after that last outing. And again, the usage is there, but she's very scoring dependent, especially in this matchup against a Dallas team. These teams have met twice already this year. She has been over this number once and under this number in the other game, but 35.2 fantasy score in that first one where she went over. 32 of those were real points, right? So you look at that second game, she goes just shy of that number. 28.1 was her fantasy score in the second meeting back on the 9th of June. But she had 29 real points in that one. So you can see the peripherals limited for Copper in the 2-game sample that we have this year against this Dallas team. Again, 6 turnovers in that one as well. That's how you end up with less fantasy points than actual points in a game. But again, this is a player that is averaging 21.8 points per game on the season. So she's found that scoring success against Dallas. but the peripherals have not been there. And if she falls back down towards her averages, again, sub 22 points per game on the season, I like the less than selection here. I do think that this line is probably 2 points, maybe 2.5 points too high. So that's going to do it for my picks here this morning. On your way out, if you have not yet, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on this video. Again, it helps us grow the stream. It helps us grow the channel. If you're watching on Twitter, right, come over to the YouTube, hit those buttons for us. Or, if you haven't joined up here at FTN Fantasy yet, you come on over, holler at me in that Pick'em Games channel when you get in. Just a quick recap. Again, we won't go through the 2 Polish picks because those locked about 2 minutes ago, but we still have Victor Liz, more than 8.5 points. Justin Brownlee, less than 18.5 points. You've got some time to get those in. From the MLB side, you've got Joey Estes, less than 17.5 outs. Pair that with Logan O'Hoppe, more than 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. And on the WNBA side, Arike Agumbawale, more than 22.5 points. And Kalea Copper, less than 32.5. Fantasy score. It's going to do it for me here this morning on the Wednesday edition of the PrizePicks Prop Show. Everybody have a good 4th. I imagine Alex will be here. I think that, if you're an FTN subscriber, you'll know if that show gets canceled for the 4th. But again, 4th of July, big baseball day. Of course, there are WNBA games as well. Some MLS games. We might get some soccer picks from me in that Pick'em Games channel tomorrow, but we'll be around. We'll see you guys in the Discord, and I'll be back on Friday with another edition of the PrizePicks Prop Show. And of course, as always, good luck tonight, everybody.